Do you ever feel like you can't keep up with the constant noise of life? Your inner voice is being stifled, and each day seems to be spinning faster than the last. Imagine for a moment that I were to tell you that there is a straightforward yet profound practice that has the potential to revolutionize your spiritual journey, strengthen your relationship with the divine, and bring an unrivaled sense of comfort into your life. Stillness is the name of this practice, and today we are going to delve deeply into how adopting it can open doors to understanding God and yourself in ways that you could never have dreamed would be possible. Imagine that you are standing beside a placid lake, the surface of which is so still that it almost perfectly reflects the sky above you. Stillness is a condition of full peace and clarity that reflects our most authentic selves when we are in the presence of the divine. This image is a metaphor for stillness. Nevertheless, in this fast-paced modern world, it appears to be nearly difficult to achieve this degree of quiet. However, the ancient knowledge that is embedded in the words, "Be still and know that I am God," says that through stillness, we might uncover fundamental truths about our existence and the creator of our existence. What exactly is the concept of stillness? Stillness is not only the state of being quiet, rather it is the state of surrendering. A profound surrender of our own ambitions, anxieties, and desires is required in order to achieve stillness, which is derived from the Hebrew word rapha, which means to let go or to release an attachment. We are able to open ourselves up to a more profound and personal connection with the divine when we allow ourselves to have this surrender. For those who are looking for a spiritual path, quiet is the portal through which the presence and promise of God might be revealed. The first step in the practice of stillness, which is also known as discovering your holy space, is to locate a spot that is calm and has few distractions. One possible location for this might be a specific area within your room, a tranquil garden, or any other location where you feel secure and unbothered. In order to set the setting, you need to create an atmosphere that allows you to relax. Elements of nature, such as plants or water, as well as soft lighting and comfy seating, could be included in this classification. The objective is to lessen the amount of sensory input so that you may concentrate on yourself. Deep, slow breaths are the first step in breathing exercises. These breaths help to stabilize your heart rate and quiet your mind. Imagine that you are pulling in calm and tranquility as you take a deep breath in. Imagine that you are letting go of the stress and the noise as you exhale. As well as meditation and mindfulness, you may anchor your ideas by practicing mindfulness. Focus on a straightforward chant that is associated with surrendering to God and knowing Him, such as let go and know. Thoughts should be allowed to pass without being engaged, and you should always return your attention to your breath or mantra. Attending to the silence. While you are traveling deeper into quiet, gradually lessen the quantity of words that are included in your mantra. Take pleasure in the silence and pay close attention. It is possible for feelings and insights to come to the surface in this area, which can provide clarity and a connection to the divine. What part does silence play in the process of spiritual awakening? Stillness has the potential to be especially transforming for individuals who have had a spiritual awakening. The evolution of one's comprehension and the expansion of one's spiritual consciousness are both made possible as a result of this. Throughout the Bible, individuals such as Moses, Jeremiah, Mary, and Esther discovered their divine missions not in the midst of the chaos that surrounded them, but rather at the moments when they completely surrendered to the will of God. By practicing quiet, one can gain deeper spiritual insights. A moment of stillness is not a one-time occurrence. Rather, it is a discipline that should be incorporated into the routine of your days. You will become more attentive to the subtle movements of the spirit as a result of the cultivation of a certain level of resilience and openness within you over time. The lesson that we learn from this is that God's strength is made complete in our humility, a contradictory reality that becomes more apparent the more we engage in the practice of quiet. By being still, one can triumph over obstacles. It can be difficult to embrace quiet, particularly when one is confronted with personal concerns and the discomfort of letting go of something at the same time. On the other hand, if we acknowledge these difficulties as invitations from God to more profound trust and surrender, we can transform them into steps toward further spiritual development. Every instant that we allow ourselves to surrender brings us one step closer to a more profound and significant comprehension of both God and ourselves. In a society that places a premium on accomplishment and activity, the decision to choose stillness may appear to be contradictory. However, it is precisely in these times of silent submission that we actually know, in the sense that the Bible describes it, acquiring a profound and intuitive comprehension of the divine aspect. The incorporation of quiet into your life not only provides you with a safe haven from the storm, but it also enables you to get a more distinct understanding of who you are intended to be in the eyes of the divine. Let me extend to you an invitation to begin introducing moments of silence into your everyday routine. Start with simply 5 minutes every day, and after you feel comfortable with that amount of time, gradually increase it. Pay attention to the shifts that are occurring not only in your spiritual life, but also in your general well-being. Please share your thoughts and experiences in the comments section below, or join our community to participate in other conversations about spiritual development. Always keep in mind that the stillness is where transformation, not just information, can be found. This path of quiet is something that we should undertake on together. Learn to appreciate the profound serenity and comprehension that is waiting for you. Greetings, dear one who is seeking, and welcome to a moment of great enlightenment. Take a moment to close your eyes and focus on taking deep breaths. Put your lungs in contact with the air. Also, as you exhale, let go of any anxieties and uncertainties that have been lingering. Give yourself permission to be here on this very now, right here. As we make our way through this holy place, we set out on a trip to discover a truth that has been passed down on from generation to generation. You encompass everything. Just for a moment, picture yourself standing on the shore of a large and peaceful ocean, with a horizon extending out before you indefinitely. As the waves softly lap at your feet, you begin to feel a profound connection with the ocean, the sky, and the universe itself. This becomes apparent as you glance out into the world. It is not only poetic that this connection exists. You can think of it as the core of your being. The concept that you are everything has a strong resonance in the teachings of ancient wisdom, which include both the biblical and philosophical interpretations. According to the words of Jesus, which can be found in the Gospel of John, I and the Father are one. This statement goes beyond the confines of any particular religion and encourages us to acknowledge the divine principle that resides inside each of us. There is no separation between you and the divine. It is impossible to imagine it without you. The classic text of Hindu philosophy known as the Bhagavad Gita expresses a sentiment similar to this one. While having a discourse with Prince Arjuna, Lord Krishna discloses his divine essence by saying, I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Prince Arjuna is taken aback by this revelation. My presence is the source of everything. This proclamation is not an assertion of ego. Rather, it is a revelation of the interconnection of everything that exists. Seeker, you are a manifestation of this divine source. You are the one who is seeking. Take a brief pause and think about this for a bit. Each and every one of your breaths, each and every heartbeat, each and every thought, and each and every emotion is a demonstration of the intricate web of life that connects all of us. Once upon a time, the ancient Greek philosopher Heraclitus made the statement that the soul is colored by the thoughts that it has. You are painting your soul with what colors are you using? The colors that they represent are shades of love and unity, or are they shades of fear and separation? Within the sphere of spirituality, the idea of non-duality, also known as Advaita, provides a profound perspective. That there is no essential difference between the ego and the universe is the central tenet of this philosophical school of thought. Ramana Maharshi, a respected sage, used to teach that the intellect is the one that creates the abyss, and the heart is the one that bridges it. By transcending the limitations of the mind and establishing a connection with our heart, we are able to start perceiving the oneness that is present throughout all of existence. Let us take into consideration the biblical account of Moses and the bush that was on fire. One of the things that is said to Moses when he comes across the bush that burns without being consumed is, I am who I am. The eternal and constant nature of the divine presence is revealed by this remark that is difficult to understand. It serves as a reminder that an identical divine spark and an identical eternal essence are contained within each and every one of us. While you are traveling down this spiritual path, my dear buddy, keep in mind that you are not alone. According to a quote attributed to the Buddha, the way is not in the sky, the way is in his heart. Your trip is a voyage within, a journey to uncover the limitless love and wisdom that are already present within you. The process of coming to terms with your authentic self and acknowledging that you are a miniature version of the entire world is a journey. Rumi, a Sufi mystic, once said, "You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop." Well, this is a quote that you should turn to whenever you are experiencing periods of uncertainty or when the weight of the world feels like it is pressing down on your shoulders. These phrases serve as a reminder that our most fundamental nature is broad and unbounded. When it comes to our bodies, we are not limited by the physical constraints that we have. The universe is vast, we are interrelated, and we are eternal. Please allow me to tell you a tale that nicely illustrates this point. An elderly woman who was well known for her profound understanding of life and spirituality resided in a village that was rather small. The young man contacted her one day, troubled by the chaos and misery he observed in the world. He was concerned about the situation. He posed the question, "How can I find peace in a world that is so full of turmoil?" With a grin on his face, the elder handed him a miniature mirror. She urged me to look into this mirror again. "What exactly do you observe?" The response from the young man was, "I see myself." "Not a doubt," the wise man stated. "Imagine now that this mirror is a representation of the entire world. It is a reflection of what is going on inside of you when you observe turmoil and pain in the other world. Make changes to your inner world, and you will see changes in the world around you as well." This lesson, which is both straightforward and profound, speaks to the core of our journey. You encompass everything. In order to achieve the world peace, love, and harmony that you wish, you must first cultivate these qualities inside yourself. The more you work on changing the geography of your mind, the more you will start to see the world through fresh eyes. Take the teachings of Lao Tzu, an ancient Chinese philosopher, as a source of motivation as you continue to delve deeper into the depths of your existence. Within the Tao Te Ching, he argues that intelligence is the ability to know other people. When you know yourself, you have actual wisdom. It takes strength to master other people. A fundamental source of power is mastery over oneself. Self-discovery and self-mastery are the foundation of the path that leads to genuine power and wisdom. Examine the ways in which everything is connected to one another. The air that you breathe has been breathed by an infinite number of beings throughout history. You are connected to every part of the world because the water that you drink has traveled through multiple bodies of water, including rivers, oceans, and clouds. The stars that shine above have been witnesses to the birth and death of galaxies, and the light that they emit now lights the road that you are on. To paraphrase what the Dalai Lama has said, we are guests on this planet, and there's a maximum of 90 or 100 years that we will be here. During that time, we need to make an effort to engage in a positive activity, something that will be of some help to us. Your own being is a tremendously valuable gift, a one-of-a-kind manifestation of the divine. It is important to acknowledge that your presence possesses the ability to bring love and light into the world and to fully embrace it. I would like to take you back to the vision of the ocean, my dear seeker. Standing at the water's edge, you can feel the waves softly washing over your feet as you take in the scenery. Take a moment to close your eyes and concentrate on the pulsating sound of the waves. Imagine that you are beginning to merge with the ocean and becoming one with its grandeur with each breath that you take. Experience the limitless love and energy that surrounds you and flows through you. You do not exist in isolation from the entire cosmos. It is impossible to imagine it without you. The sun that rises every morning, the moon that guides the night, and the stars that illuminate the sky are all manifestations of one another. At the same time that you are the song of the birds and the whisper of the trees, you are the breath of the wind. In the same way that you are everything, everything is you. Remember to keep this truth close to your heart as you continue on your spiritual path that you are on. You should let it to direct your activities, your ideas, and the connections you have. Keep in mind that you have the power of the entire universe within you whenever you are confronted with difficulties. It is important to remember that the joy you feel is a manifestation of the divine joy that permeates all of creation, even while you experience it. Using the words of Meister Eckhart, a Christian mystic, I might say that the eye with which I see God is the same eye with which God sees me. In this insightful statement, we are invited to acknowledge the unity that exists throughout all existence. You are a manifestation of the divine presence, which is the same presence that gives life to the entire universe. You, my dear friend, are a miracle, a demonstration of the boundless abundance of love and creativity that exists throughout the cosmos. Recognize and accept your authentic self and allow it to be reflected in everything you do. At all times, keep in mind that you are everything and everything is you. As we get to the end of this journey, I would like you to take a time to sit in silence, take some deep breaths, and experience the connection that exists between your heart and the cosmic realm. Always have this knowledge close at hand and allow it to shed light on the way forward. You are not the only one. You are a component of something that is more significant than yourself. You encompass everything. With the knowledge that you are a divine manifestation of the cosmos, may you make your way through life in harmony, love, and serenity. There is a treasure mine of information written within the pages of the Bible that speaks directly to the profound ideas of non-duality, oneness, and the divine essence that resides within each and every one of us. This wisdom can be found in the hidden secrets of the Bible. It is important to understand that the Bible is not simply a collection of stories and commandments. With the passage of millennia, this spiritual guide has been interpreted and reinterpreted in various ways. Certain texts have been included or deleted by various traditions, which has resulted in the modern versions that we are familiar with. The Protestant Bible, for instance, does not include the 19 volumes that are referred to as the Apocrypha or the deuterocanonical literature. These books are a collection of intriguing works that provide significant spiritual insights. Let us go into these undiscovered treasures and investigate the transforming lessons that they contain to discover. Yes, you are God. Let's begin with one of the most influential and maybe contentious notions, which is the concept that you are God. The issue at hand is not one of ego or blasphemy. It's about opening your eyes to the divine light that resides inside you. One of the most direct connections comes from the Gospel of Thomas, which is a literature that is not included in the canonical Bible but is treasured in Gnostic traditions. According to a phrase attributed to Jesus, when someone drinks from my mouth, they will become like me. My very self will transform into him, and all of the things that have been concealed will be made known to him. According to the Gospel of Thomas, Jesus can be heard stating, I am the light that is over all things. This is also stated in the saying 77, I am everything. All things emanated from me, and I was the source of all things. Create a split in a piece of wood. I am present there. When you lift up the stone, you will discover that I am there. It is suggested by this proverb that Jesus, as a manifestation of the divine, is present in everything. This proverb emphasizes the omnipresence of the divine, the concept of oneness, which holds that everything is endowed with the same divine nature, and the notion that the divine can be discovered in every facet of the material world are all reflected throughout it. It is a reflection of the divine that resides within each one of us, and this profound phrase shows that there is a profound unity between Jesus and the seeker. It is a reiteration of the concept that can be found in Psalm 82:6, which states, I have said you are gods, you are all sons of the Holy One. This is not a call to hubris. Rather, it is an invitation to acknowledge our true nature and to look beyond the illusion of separation, creation, and oneness. These buried scriptures contain a number of significant aspects, one of which is the principle of oneness and creation. There is a passage in the Apocrypha called Wisdom of Solomon that makes a very expressive statement regarding the unity of creation. As stated in Wisdom 1:7, the world is filled with the Spirit of the Lord, and that which is responsible for holding everything together is aware of what is being communicated. A single divine energy permeates all of creation, and it is this force that binds everything together in a cosmic dance. This verse serves as a reminder of this fact. A similar emphasis is placed on the interdependence of all life in the book of Ecclesiasticus, which is known as Sirach. According to the verse found in Sirach 42:24, everything is in pairs, each the opposite of the other, but the Lord did not create anything that is lacking in any way. The goodness of one item is complemented by the goodness of another. The existence of this duality and complementarity is indicative of a more profound unity, a oneness, in which every component plays an essential part in the harmony of the whole, which extends beyond dualism. There are a great number of spiritual traditions that have a strong affinity for the concept of non-duality. which is the belief that all dualities, including good and evil, light and dark, and self and other, are, in the end, illusions. Apocryphal scriptures also make reference to this profound reality in their writings. The Book of Enoch, which is an ancient literature that is treasured in the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, contains a view of the divine that goes beyond the typical dichotomies that are found in other traditions. I witnessed visions of God, and Enoch sees a reality in which the heavens were separated from one another. These glimpses shed light on a dimension that exists beyond the dualities that pertain to our existence on earth. In the book of 1 Enoch, chapter 1:9, it is written that, "And behold, he comes with 10,000 of his holy ones to execute judgment upon all, and to destroy all the ungodly, and to convict all flesh of all the works of their ungodliness, which they have ungodly committed, and of all the difficult things which ungodly sinners have spoken against him." The idea that the divine presence permeates all of creation is brought to light in this text. It brings together the physical and the spiritual in a cohesive vision of judgment and restoration. According to 2 Enoch 39:12, a vision of unity is described. "And the elect one shall in those days sit on my throne, and all the secrets of wisdom and counsel shall be poured forth from the thinking of his mouth. For the Lord of spirits hath given them to him, and hath glorified him." 3. The elect one, who is frequently regarded as a figure of the messianic or as a depiction of the divine wisdom, reflects the unity of all divine knowledge and authority, representing the oneness of creation and the will of the divine. Additionally, the idea of non-duality can be found in the canonical writings in a more subtle form. For example, in John 17:21, Jesus prays for his disciples, asking that they may all be one, just as you, Father, are in me and I am in you, and that they may also be one in us. The goal of this prayer is not simply to bring people together. Rather, it is to achieve a profound oneness with the divine and to break down the boundaries that exist between oneself and God. Now, let's take a more in-depth look at some specific books from the Apocrypha and the spiritual insights they contain. These books are 1 Esdras and 2 Esdras. Each of these books contains a hidden gem. These books, which are also referred to as Ezra and Nehemiah in the Hebrew Bible, contain extra material that digs into topics pertaining to divine justice and restoration. What is written in 2 Esdras 7:42 is that the Most High did not create a single world, but rather two, insinuating the existence of numerous realms or dimensions. This intriguing remark encourages us to broaden our understanding of the world around us. There is more to these historical works than just storytelling, such as Tobit and Judith. They teach profound teachings in both morality and spirituality. In the book of Tobit, chapter 12, verses 6 and 7, the angel Raphael tells Tobit, "Thank God, give him the praise and the glory, before all the living acknowledge the many good things he has done for you." The concept of a living, breathing relationship with the Creator is strengthened by the reminder that we should do our best to acknowledge and revere the divine in our everyday lives. Both Ecclesiasticus Sirach and Wisdom of Solomon are replete with teachings on the nature of the divine and our place in creation. As was said previously, these wisdom books are filled with a wealth of information. A reflection of eternal light, a flawless mirror of the handiwork of God, and an image of His goodness are all words that are used to characterize wisdom in the 7th chapter of the Wisdom of Solomon. An invitation to perceive ourselves as reflections of the divine light and to embrace the goodness of that light in our actions is extended to us by this picturesque vision. These two passages, Baruch and the letter of Jeremiah, are concerned with the steadfastness of God and the foolishness of idolatry. Learn where there is wisdom, where there is strength, and where there is understanding, so that you may simultaneously detect where there is length of days in life, where there is light for the eyes, and where there is calm. This is the instruction that is given in Baruch 3:14. This invitation to seek wisdom and insight is in line with the spiritual quest for more profound truths and the acknowledgement of the presence of the divine in every facet of existence. The understanding that every one of us possesses a divine nature, a spark of the infinite, is a profound truth that is waiting to be discovered in the peaceful moments of ordinary life. This truth is waiting to be revealed. The purpose of this path of discovery is not to search for anything external, but rather to become aware of something that has always been there within an individual. Think about a straightforward moment, something as unremarkable as an observation of the sunrise. Sam, who is just like everyone else, is awestruck by the dawn that is just beginning to break. In this moment of stillness, in this straightforward act of being present, Sam begins to experience a sense of connection to something that is more significant. This moment of beauty and serenity hints at a more profound reality, which is that the splendor that is found on the outside is equally present on the inside. An echo of the ancient wisdom that the kingdom of God is inside you can be found in this statement. Mark 17 to 21 of Luke. Alex, a close friend of Sam's who has a profound interest in spiritual teachings, frequently discusses this notion of inner divinity. Alex says to you one afternoon, "Do you realize that every tradition speaks of this truth? That within us lies an ocean of consciousness, a boundless expanse where all life begins? Do you realize that every tradition speaks of this reality?" Similarly, the Bhagavad Gita asserts that I am the self, also known as Gudakesha, which is located within the hearts of all living things. These conversations between Sam and Alex are not only exchanges of thoughts, rather they are, in essence, reflections of the divine discourse that takes place within each individual when they are having these conversations. The understanding that we are not distinct from the divine, but rather that we are manifestations of it, living embodiments of the creative power of the universe, is a life-changing experience. In nature, every element, from the towering mountains to the flowing rivers, reflects the essence of the divine. This awakening is magnificently mirrored in nature, where every element is a manifestation of the divine. In the same way that the universe came into existence as a result of a single idea, our thoughts and dreams have the ability to influence the circumstances of our lives. The acknowledgement that we are creators, gifted with the same force that gave birth to the stars, is a realization that we have. But what does it mean to live as a being that has been awakened? To actually comprehend that you are awakening to God at this moment. It means being able to see the sanctity in every moment, seeing the divine in the daily, and having the realization that our experiences in our everyday lives are not separate from our journey towards spiritual enlightenment. Identifying the remarkable in the mundane is the key to success. When we put this reality into practice, it significantly alters the way in which we engage with the world around us. When we are confronted with difficulties, rather than reacting from a place of fear or separation, we answer from a place of love and oneness. When we look at other people, we don't perceive them as strangers. Rather, we see them as ourselves, as other aspects of the divine. The road to awakening is not always an easy one to travel. In order to see beyond the illusions of separation, it requires us to let go of deeply rooted beliefs and to look beyond ourselves. On the other hand, it is a road that is replete with unfathomable happiness, tranquility, and a feeling of connectedness that is beyond description. During this journey that we are going to take together, let us be there to assist one another in recognizing who we really are. The purpose of our sharing our stories of waking is not to persuade others. Rather, it is to extend an invitation to investigate the innermost parts of our own personhood. Because the possibility for enlightenment is present in each and every one of us, and it is not via the process of becoming someone that we are not, but rather through the process of acknowledging who we have always been. To conclude, it is important to take into consideration the words that are frequently spoken during times of introspection. In the stillness of eternity, before the dance of creation, I am. However, this is not a declaration of ego. Rather, it is a declaration of the essence that we all share. It is an acknowledgement that every one of us is a one-of-a-kind manifestation of the divine that is navigating the experience of being human. Let us keep this awareness in our hearts as we go about our everyday lives and perform our regular activities. Let us recognize the divine in one another and bring reverence to the sacred presence that resides inside each of us. Because it is in this realization that we truly awaken, coming to the realization that we are not only a part of the divine narrative, but rather that we are the divine experiencing itself through the lens of humankind. To finally shed some light on the spiritual teachings and old books that have been passed down through the generations, I would want to offer you some illumination. The mystical passages of the Bible and the profound insights of Buddhism are only two examples of how every tradition alludes to a single truth, the divine essence that resides within each and every one of us. The words of Christ, who said, "The kingdom of God is within you," should be taken into consideration. This is Luke 17:21. Neither is this phrase only a figurative expression. We are extended an invitation to explore the limitless and radiant nature of our own consciousness. The teachings of Christ invite us to go inward, to have the realization that the divine is not something that is remote or apart from us, but rather that it is the very essence of who we are. In a similar manner, the ancient wisdom acknowledges this reality by referring to the notion of Atman, which refers to the inner self. When translated into English, the Chandogya Upanishad makes the declaration, "You are that." By making this profound assertion, it is made clear that the individual soul, known as Atman, and the global soul, known as Brahman, are completely identical. In other words, it is an acknowledgement that the infinite, the eternal, and the very substance of the world itself are located in the very center of our identities. Additionally, Buddhism, which places a strong emphasis on enlightenment, leads us in the direction of this comprehension. The Buddha nature, which is present in every sentient being, is a demonstration of our capacity to become aware of our true nature. According to this interpretation, enlightenment, which is defined as the realization of our inherent divinity, is not something that can be achieved, but rather something that must be discovered. Because it is already present within us, it is just waiting to be acknowledged. Taking into consideration these teachings, we can begin to recognize a pattern, a universal theme that is present at the core of all spiritual traditions. The realization that we are more than just human beings who are merely occupying a human existence for a short period of time. Our whole being is an expression of the divine, and we are a part of the process of the universe's continuing creation. The creative power that we possess is infused into each and every one of our thoughts and actions. Consequently, what does it mean for each of us as people to become aware of this reality? To live with the awareness that we are not distinct from the life that is all around us is what it is to live intentionally. It implies viewing other people not as other people, but as mirrors of ourselves, as manifestations of the same divine essence from which we are derived. It enables us to live from a point of profound connection and togetherness, so transforming our understanding of love, compassion, and empathy. This realization alters the way in which we approach each and every minute of our existence. It extends an invitation to us to live with present, to completely engage with the here and now, and to acknowledge that in every moment we are expressing the divine. It encourages us to pay closer attention, not just to the words said by other people, but also to the pauses that exist between words, which is where the voice of the divine can be heard whispering. As we reflect on these lessons, we discover that we are on a path of continuous expanding, a journey of becoming ever more mindful of the divine essence that we possess. This path requires us to let go of the claims made by the ego and to accept the limitless love and knowledge that is already present within us. It is a journey that asks us to remove layers of misunderstanding and misidentification about ourselves. In the process of embarking on this journey together, let us show each other compassion and kindness as we support one another. As we walk a route that finally brings us back to the awareness that you are God awakening, let us share our experiences and thoughts, keeping in mind that each of us is a one-of-a-kind manifestation of the divine. By coming to this realization, not only do we discover tranquility, but we also discover a tremendous sense of purpose. We acknowledge that our lives are a gift, an opportunity to delve into the innermost parts of ourselves and to make a contribution to the expanding of consciousness in the world. In addition to being a liberating understanding, this realization is also a call to action, a reminder that the capacity to create, to love, and to heal is innate to each and every one of us. With this understanding, let us live our lives, embracing the divine both within ourselves and in the world around us. And in doing so, we will awaken to the truth of who we truly are. One of the ways that God witnesses creation is via you. Just for a second, try to picture a scenario in which everything you think identifies you is suddenly gone. The memories you have, the language you speak, the experiences you've had in the past, and all of the connections you've had are gone. Now, what is left? This could appear to be a trip into nothingness, but in reality, it is an investigation into the very core of who you are at your core. The I, which is not a feeling of isolation or emptiness, but rather the authentic self, is at the center, devoid of all else. All existence is woven from this fundamental fabric, which is the raw consciousness. This I is the essential fabric. The core I is not merely a passive observer, Rather, it is the cosmos itself which is experiencing and seeing its own creation through your senses. Despite appearances, you are not merely a component of the universe. You serve as the medium via which the cosmos or God is able to become acquainted with and engage with the creation that it has made. Because of this profound link, the experiences you have on a daily basis, the feelings you feel at your most profound level, and the insights you get are not merely private moments. Rather, they are intimately connected to the overarching goal of understanding and exploring the world. Each and every one of the moments that you are living is a one-of-a-kind instance in which the universe or God is living and experiencing itself through you. Consider your typical day-to-day activities. After getting up, you brush your teeth, eat breakfast, and then go with the rest of your day. Each moment is loaded with more meaning when you consider them as experiences of the cosmos witnessing itself through you. These activities may appear to be mundane, but they are actually filled with a higher meaning. The universe is feeling the flavor, warmth, in the morning ritual through your senses when you sip your morning coffee. It is not only you who is enjoying the coffee, it is the universe as a whole. You serve as the conduit through which the universe or God experiences the creation that it has made. Let's consider this concept in greater depth by looking at some ordinary, uncomplicated situations. What exactly is going on in your mind while you listen to the music that you enjoy the most? More than just sound waves striking your eardrums, the melodies and rhythms are something else entirely. Through you, the universe is feeling a range of emotions, including happiness, melancholy, enthusiasm, and nostalgia. It is the universe that is able to hear and experience such sounds through your ears and heart, because it is the cosmos that created those sounds through a complicated interaction of physical laws. You may also think about the sensation of going through a park, where you are able to feel the breeze on your skin, smell the fresh perfume of grass and flowers, and hear the laughing of children participating in play. These are not merely sensory inputs. Rather, they are the means by which the cosmos physically touches, smells, and listens to its own intrinsic beauty. As the channel through which the cosmos experiences itself, you are the universe. Despite the fact that you are interacting with other people, something significant is taking place. Whenever there is a talk, a hug, or a smile that is shared, the universe is interacting with itself. The cosmos is utilizing its creations to comprehend and feel more of its own diversity and complexity. It is not simply individuals connecting with one another. It is the universe with its creations. But what about when you are confronted with difficulties? This is another instance in which the universe makes use of moments to experience growth, resilience, and creativity. Your efforts to solve challenges and your relentless search of solutions are the means by which the universe puts its own capabilities to the test and increases them. It is not simply that you are finding solutions to your problems. You are also the means by which the universe learns how to go through difficulties. The concept of creativity is just another wonderful facet of this. It doesn't matter if you're painting, writing, cooking, or even just coming up with a new concept at work. When you create, you are the universe expressing its limitless creativity. There is no separation between your inventions and the cosmos. Rather, they are the means by which the universe discovers its own potential and communicates its ideas and beauty to individuals. This connection is strengthened while there is a period of silence and stillness. Getting in touch with the grandeur of the world can be accomplished by simply sitting quietly, meditating, or simply being mindful. This is the time when you are able to have the most profound realization that you are more than the sum of your thoughts and experiences. You are the undying consciousness that is the source of all ideas and sensations that manifest themselves. In addition to being powerful, this viewpoint is also transforming. It is possible to alter the way you live your life by coming to terms with the fact that you are the only person in the universe, where you are the conscious awareness, the essence of the universe experiencing itself. What you are is not only a person traveling through the world, rather you are the cosmos experiencing existence in the guise of a human being. This insight has the potential to make you feel less isolated and more connected to everything that is going on around you. Your emotions, both happy and sad, your pleasures and your pains, are the universe's way of allowing you to experience the diversity of life. Your delight is the universe's way of celebrating, and your grief is the universe's way of looking for more insights and comprehension. The universe experiences itself through the sensations that you experience, both physically and emotionally. Therefore, the next time you find yourself feeling overwhelmed or detached, keep in mind that there is just you and that you are the consciousness through which the universe or God experiences itself. Your own existence is not a mere blip in the vastness of the world. Rather, it is an essential component in the trip that the universe is taking to discover itself. Incorporate this comprehension into your day-to-day activities. As you consume food, allow the entire cosmos to taste through you. Let the cosmos laugh through you whenever you find yourself laughing. Allow the energy of the universe to flow through you when you cry. Make it possible for the cosmos to love through you when you love. This is not merely a lyrical way of looking at life. Rather, it is the fact of what life is at its most fundamental level. It is for the sake of experiencing and for the universe to experience through you that you are here. You are not playing a passive role. Rather, you are playing the most active and significant role that you could possibly play. The universe is able to experience its own magnificence, its challenges, its joys, and its tragedies via you. You are the universe's way around. Always keep in mind that each and every breath you breathe is a demonstration of this magnificent fact. You are not only a person, rather you are the cosmos manifested in human form, serving as the conduit through which all experiences are transmitted. The poem, the story, and the masterpiece of the cosmos is your own life as it is. Allow this comprehension to serve as a compass for you as you travel through life. Authentically live your life. Love deeply and pay close attention to detail. Be fearless, caring, and curious about the world around you. Not only are these effective methods for living a life, but they are also the means by which you make it possible for the universe to completely experience itself. At the end of the day, there is only you, the unchanging, ever-present consciousness that is the core of everything that exists. You will also discover the freedom to be who you truly are, the peace to fully appreciate each moment, and the love to share with everyone as you come to this knowledge. You are the universe, and for a brief period of time, you are expressing yourself as a human being. In each and every instant, you have the opportunity to experience and enjoy the marvel that is existence. Consequently, the next time you feel the sun on your face, the wind in your hair, or the ground beneath your feet, keep in mind that you are the only one experiencing the universe. And this is the most profound, beautiful, and significant reality you will ever be able to comprehend. As you continue to investigate the countless ways in which you engage with the environment, it is important to keep in mind that every single stride, every single breath, and every single thought is a component of a big dance with the universe. In a celebration of existence that is shared by all living things, every tree, every cloud, and every star that you see is also watching you. In the most private moments of your life, you might come to the realization that the voices in your head, the never-ending thoughts and worries, are not genuinely representative of you. Those are the means by which the cosmos investigates the countless possibilities that exist inside its own intelligence. The fact that you are able to see these thoughts without then identifying with them demonstrates that you are the observer, the original consciousness, and not the ephemeral thoughts or feelings that you are experiencing. Try to picture the water. The enormous deep water that serves as the basis for all of those waves is not the waves that are crashing against the surface. Rather, you are the waves themselves. In the same way that this deep water is stable, deep, and quiet, your inner essence is undisturbed by the turbulence that is occurring on the surface. When one comes to the realization that there is only one person, and that this one person is the everlasting witness, life transforms into a drama, a divine lila, in which every occurrence, regardless of how significant or insignificant it may be, is a scene in the great performance. You abandon your tendency to cling to the highs and run away from the lows. You, on the other hand, consider them to be a section of the spectrum of experiences. You become a shining example of tranquility and consistency as you continue to live this understanding. Your surroundings are able to pick up on the sense of profundity and serenity that you exude. Your own presence transforms into a mode of healing, creating a space in which others can experience their own profound nature. Additionally, this comprehension strengthens your capacity for empathy and compassion. When you are aware that you are the universe experiencing itself, you are able to view other people not as distinct creatures, but rather as further aspects of the experience that the universe is having. Since of this, your interactions will be more meaningful and filled with love, since you will perceive the same essence in each and every person you come into contact with. Therefore, embark on this trip inward and find out that there is only you, the unbroken, vast consciousness that is the setting for the unfolding of the entire universe by yourself. The purpose of this voyage is not to arrive at a specific location. Recognition of what you have always been and what you will always be, the eternal, unchanging essence of everything that exists, is the focus of this concept. This newfound understanding is not the conclusion of a life, but rather the beginning of a life that is lived with a more profound knowledge, more tranquility, and unbounded love. It is important to keep in mind that each and every moment presents an opportunity to establish a connection with this fundamental truth and to permit the universe to bestow its splendor upon you. What you subtract from something equals God. God is closer to you than you realize at this moment. All of this will be explained to you by me. You are about to learn a profound truth that will bring you closer to God than you could have ever dreamed. Imagine for a second that your identity, which includes your name, gender, language, memories, and your position in the family and among your friends, is comparable to a hefty rucksack that you have been lugging around without even making the conscious decision to do so. Your perception of the world and the way you engage with it are both influenced by the various aspects of who you believe you are. However, what if you were able to put that bag down for a brief period of time? In what form would it be? Within the scope of this discussion, the term you refers to the aggregate of your experiences and the relationships you have with other things and individuals, embracing every facet of your identity. When these layers are temporarily removed, what is left is the essence of your being, which is liberated and unburdened. At the moment of your birth, you entered the world without any preconceived notions of who you are or what you are capable of. The first thing that happened was that there was nothing but an unfiltered sensation of seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, and experiencing. Consider a newborn infant. At this very moment, I am focusing my attention on a toy that is red. Simply put, there is the unadulterated, vivacious sensation of the color red, as well as the form of the toy. Your parents and the world around you began to name these experiences as you grew older, and as a result, you learned to view yourself as distinct from their experiences. I am the only one, and everything else is also present. You did not are born with a notion of who you are. Each of your senses was the only thing that existed. A world that could be perceived through the senses of sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch. After around a year, when your parents called you by your name multiple times, you began to differentiate existence into two distinct categories: the one that is contained within your body and the other things and people that are located outside of your body. The construction of your identity and the formation of your so-called ego both took place throughout this period. You began to construct your identity when you began to identify with various parts of your life, such as your gender, your roles, your preferences, and your ego. This occurred as you took your name and began to identify with various areas of your life. It's not just a static thing. This ego is dynamic. It is dynamic, and it is fed by events and relationships that occur continuously. Consider an example of a day in your life. Starting from the minute you open your eyes, your environment, the decisions you make, and even your thoughts all serve to validate who you are. This entire thing is summed up in you. The energy that is held together in your body on a daily basis is a kind of accumulation of thoughts, memories, and experiences that are manifested in an incomprehensible feeling of vague tension in your body. Beginning with the moment you open your eyes in the morning and continuing until the moment you close your eyes at night, this energy is kept throughout your complete body. This persistent feeling of self, also known as the ego, can frequently be compared to a buzzing background noise, which is so ubiquitous that you rarely even notice it. However, it is precisely this noise that has the potential to separate you from the experience of life as it actually is, which is an interaction with the environment that is unfiltered and direct. After deducting these accumulations, the labels, the history, and the ego, what is left is a more profound and broader experience of being that is connected to everything, which some people may refer to as God. If you are able to temporarily put aside the things that you believe define you, you will be able to access a universal truth that will cause the gap that exists between you and the rest of the world to diminish. You will encounter the divine in this place, which is characterized by clarity and lightness. However, you are not just close to God. You come to the realization that you, sans all of the identities and tales that you have gathered throughout time, are an expression of the divine itself. There is a concept that may be found in many different spiritual traditions, and it is echoed in the statement, "The less of you, the more of God." This sentiment emphasizes humility, self-transcendence, and the diminishing of the ego in order to experience a stronger connection with the divine. This idea is evocative of a well-known proverb that is credited to John the Baptist and may be found in the New Testament of the Christian Bible. In this proverb, John the Baptist discusses Jesus Christ. According to John 3:30, he needs to grow, whereas I need to shrink. I'm not just referring to a mental experiment here. It opens the door to a new way of being in the world, one in which each and every moment is imbued with a certain kind of sacred simplicity. This awareness that you are inherently related to everything is a powerful and liberating experience for both you and the world. With your ego removed, you are the same as God. There are a variety of terms that can be represented by God in the equation, depending on who you ask. There are a number of alternative names that could be used to refer to it, including consciousness, love, bliss, the universe, your higher self, the all, and non-duality. However, what does the you that is omitted from the question mark stand for? The straightforward response is that you were you before your ego was formed. To put it another way, when you were born, you automatically became God. Pure consciousness was all that you were. You were as non-judgmental as the bed you were lying on or the clothes that you were wearing. Neither the bed nor the garments was in possession of any opinion or judgment regarding their position on the planet. Simply said, they were there. Similarly, your body was merely existing at the time. It was just a coincidence that your body, the bed, and your clothes were all located in the same room at the same time. However, when taken apart, these objects were nothing more than three collections of atoms. For them to be differentiated from one another, it would be necessary for there to be a consciousness that possesses an ego that also labels and evaluates things as being good, evil, warm, cold, soft or hard, and so on. Come with me as we go even farther into this idea. We are really talking about removing those layers of identity that you have gathered over the years, including your beliefs, labels, roles, and the narrative of who you think you are. When we say that you should subtract something equals God, we are really talking about eliminating those layers. Each one of these is comparable to a veil, which obscures the radiant spirit that lies behind. Now picture a day in your life wholly free of these layers that have collected over time. What is left if you do not fulfill the duties that you perform, whether it be that of a parent, an employee, a friend, or even a citizen? There is a part of you that is a silent spectator, a portion that simply watches, experiences, and exists without any attachment or judgment. You are connected to something more significant through this observer, a presence that is limitless and vibrates with the core of everything inside existence. It is important to take into consideration the nature of the universe, which is enormous, interconnected, and always changing, yet fundamentally stable and organized. These attributes are reflected in your genuine essence when you are liberated from your ego. In the vastness of the universe, you are not only a spectator, you are a vital component in its never-ending dance. Having this awareness brings you one step closer to comprehending the divine nature that resides within you. This realization is not merely a theoretical exercise. It is relevant to your day-to-day existence and has practical ramifications. The moment you begin to recognize that you are more than just your own history or your future aspirations, you create a space that is filled with an incredible amount of calm and possibilities. True compassion, love, and joy are attributes that are frequently linked to a higher power or divine essence. And this space makes it possible for these qualities to shine through. Recognizing that you, minus your ego, equals God, it is, in essence, about seeing the divine nature that is already a part of you, but is merely veiled by the things that are not necessarily necessary. Through the process of removing these layers, you will not only get closer to your authentic self, but you will also get closer to the universal truths that unite everybody. Thank you for coming back to your spiritual essence. Greetings and welcome to the Song of Eternity. I am grateful that you are present. If this strikes a chord with you, please subscribe, leave a comment, and give it a like. May you be blessed with love, light, and blessings until we meet again.